Welcome. This is Alistair Noct. In this episode, I want to introduce everyone to some of my demonic alliances which I've created over the years. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, fuck. He's going to try to kill us with PowerPoint, but I think this is the best way to explain this information without making it too convoluted or without making it truly abstract. So the objective is I want to share these relationships with you. These relationships have been very beneficial to me over the last 30 plus years of practicing Satanism and devil worship. And these demons are willing to forge alliances with Satanists that are truly seeking the higher gnosis. And so in doing that, you can forge some very good relationships. And as I've said before, these relationships are usually quid pro quo, meaning something for something. So if you can provide something for these demon entities, they will provide something for you in return. Also, in this presentation, I have included their sigil, and I encourage you to use the sigil in calling upon the specific demon, as we talked about in previous episodes. These demons are from my perspective only, and how I have experienced and interacted with them. I want to introduce you to Belial, Realm, Chyme, Perchta, Zipar, and Foucault. These are the closest interaction demons that I use, and also we use in the magnum opus setting as well. The first alliance is Prince Belial. Prince Belial is a demonic entity that is the prince of hell. And with Belial, loyalty is key. He is a satanic demon of truth, great power, and satanic strategy as well. Prince Belial reigns over 40 legions of protectors. And what's meant by that is the protectors are those demons that many times act as your guardian demon or guardian demons for a group or coven, and helping to watch over the individual members as well as the group or unit itself. Belial is an expert of tactical methodologies and countermeasures. Belial is also the master of illusion. Prince Belial is also the first to physically manifest during a ritual. So if you're performing a ritual and you plan to invite several satanic entities, Belial is usually the first one that shows up. Belial enters the sanctum from the northeast, and he may be accompanied by the demon Baruchus or Abraxas. Belial is proficient as an astral guide, and he can help you to circumnavigate the astral planes that are better left untraveled. So he will not let you fall into some of the more common traps. The next entity is Earl Realm. Realm is very loyalty-centric, and loyalty is very important to Realm. He is perhaps the friendliest and most accommodating of all the satanic demons. So, for that reason, I recommend your first true encounter outside of perhaps Satanas and your guardian demon, maybe consider using Realm. One thing about Realm is he expects to be compensated, and he has a voracious sexual appetite. He commands 30 legions known as Trojan warriors, and he himself is known as a Trojan warrior as well. He is mentioned in the Satanic Grimoire, Silentium in Persona Diaboli, 13 times. Now, as I have mentioned in previous episodes, this grimoire was written in the 1400s, or at least we believe it was written in the 1400s. We cannot be for sure 100%, because the grimoire changed hands so many times, and we're talking about going through so many church-driven events that were critical of and perhaps persecuted those who chose the occult path, especially witches. And that is where Silentium in Persona Diaboli originated, was with a witch's coven. Earl Realm is recommended again to be the first demon that you call upon, just simply because he is very accommodating. The best time of year to call upon Realm is Walpurgisnacht. The next of the demonic alliances is Prince Chyme. He is highly intelligent and a skillful orator. Chyme is a logician and a critical thinker, and he is lightning fast with his cognitive ability. He refuses to put a positive spin on any ominous revelation or any negative information, and he is truthful almost to the practitioner's fault. He commands an infernal demonic force of 30 legions. So as you know, in hell itself, there are different levels, and perhaps I will do an episode on that, but he is in the infernal demonic level of hell, and his force is 30 legions of infernal demonic demons. Chyme can offer advice on the selection of a demonic familiar as well. So as you have gone through this series and perhaps you have selected a demonic familiar, you can also discuss this during a ritual or an operation with Chyme, and as long as you're on good terms with your demonic familiar, you may want to include other demonic familiars or change your demonic familiar. Now, let me stress that this is different from your guardian demon. We're talking about a familiar here and not the guardian demon. So keep that in mind. Two totally separate, different entities. Prince Chyme grows impatient with lack of understanding, especially with time-wasting, pointless questions, ignorance, or a condescending attitude. You do not want to test Chyme's resolve. You do not want to do that. You also want to do your research and your preparation before you approach Chyme with questions. If not, you may get an adverse reaction from him. Frau Perchta is a sorceress. She is the matriarch of 5 legions of satanic demons. She's closely associated with spirits originating in Swabia or Bavaria area, both around the Alps. This is southern Bavaria that we're really talking about, but the Swabia is over to the west in southern Germany, and the Stuttgart area and those areas around there, even Karlsruhe is considered to be Swabia, and so that's where she is closely associated with the spirits from those areas. She appears in physical form, and for me, she facilitates my writing process. In fact, just completing my last book, Satanism and Devil Worship, Frau Perchta played a very big part in helping to keep me mentally on track, because a lot of the themes and ideas taken from that actually were generated initially through my Patreon posts. And so she was very helpful with that. She is very helpful and benign, very gentle. However, you should never cross Perchta. Walpurgisnacht is the best suited night to call upon her, and she appreciates the honor of having performed a fertility rite. That to her is what she most desires. So fertility rite or a sexual encounter on her behalf is certainly something that interests her. Duke Zipar is a fierce warrior and commander of 26 legions of demons. Now, his technique is only second to Samael. Samael is often referred to as the angel of death or destruction. However, Zipar is a demonic force which can unleash a ravaging attack upon the enemy. He is most vocal of all the demonic entities, and he often screams, yells, and snarls, especially during manifestations, during rituals and rites. You'll want to invite him because he stands guard over the coven or over you during a ritual. And he also helps to facilitate the removing of any apprehension or inhibitions of the coven members or yourself included. And you can call upon him in the evening just after dusk on All Hallows Eve. Foucault is referenced in several of the passages of Silentium in Persona Diaboli as well. He speaks the language of logic and rationale. He's highly intelligent and spares no time for the beginner. This again is a demon that you do not approach with menial topics or subject matter that you should know. He is definitely not a demon that you would want to begin with. He is sadistic, he is impatient, and he will react harshly toward dabblers. So if a dabbler calls upon him, oftentimes his punishment as a sadist is sodomy. He perplexes the enemies of the practitioner by entering into the body of the enemy and controlling the thoughts and actions while the enemy is wondering basically what is going on. You should face east when calling upon him, and he will appear immediately to your right, entering into the sanctum from the southeast, always. You can call upon Foucault during solitary operations on All Hallows Eve, early in the morning hours, just after midnight, sometime around the witching hour, as I've mentioned before. So these are the demonic entities that I wanted to share with you. And just keep a couple of things in mind. Demons are individuals, and as such, they may be attracted, interested, uninterested, moody, and even become violent if provoked. Treat them like you would treat any person with respect. If you desire to call upon an unfamiliar demon, I strongly recommend that you ask Satan to attend the ritual and act as your advocate. This has helped new practitioners in magnum opus many, many times as they are beginning their journey and they're wanting to invite some of these demons and not knowing which one to invite or not doing their research properly. They would try to invite one of the demons like Foucault, which is absolutely a mistake for the new practitioner. And that in itself is why I wanted to present this material to you so that you would have an opportunity to think about it, consider which demon or demons you would like to invite, And also some of the changes, like with the familiar, that could be entertained and approved by these demons. They will work with you and they will work for you, especially as we progress in the episodes and we begin to talk about what facilitation certain demons can provide. You will find it refreshing to know that you can always fall back on a core set of demons who are very accommodating, if not a little bit moody at times. However, you can call upon them. Until next time, this has been Alistair Noct, Satanic Blessings and Hail Satan.